Todd Bosley. That name alone strikes envy in the hearts of men and orgasms from within the loins of women since he got his break in Little Giants back in '94. However, when Lloyd was released in '01, it did nothing but strike a crushing blow to almost everyone that worked on the movie. The director, Hector Barron, did not helm another movie for 12 years, and most of the cast has Lloyd as their only film credit to date. Is this movie an abysmal pile of shit? While Lloyd obviously flopped at the box office, assuming there was even a limited release, it has a steadily growing cult following, probably from people like me that seen it on flicks around 2002 or 3 at 3 o'clock in the morning. Enough of this shit. What's it about? Todd Bosley plays, you guessed it, Lloyd, an 11-year-old, forever alone ginger that has no habiliment resembling a friend and is seen as a repulsive dope by the shallow, cruel bitches known as 6th grade girls. Lloyd's opening scenes are so depressing that I'm sure Paxil was handed out at the movie theater and bundled with a VHS DVD upon release. For instance, not only does he not get a card on Valentine's Day, but to add insult to injury, he gets his ass kicked by a guy named Storm. Now Storm, played by Patrick Higgins, is supposed to be this cock-of-the-walk 6th grader that has a rock star following with all the women, but no one can explain why. This douchebag looks like the wrestler Glacier from WCW before he hit puberty, and this girl in the opening scene wants him to be her first kiss. This girl has the balls to say Lloyd's ugly and looks like a cricket, but yet she's wanting to make out with a fuckhead that looks like a complete mongoloid. Lloyd's teachers are just as bad as his classmates. Mrs. Krupp is a very butch-looking bitch. Short silvery hair, husky, and just an all-around hateful old bag. While she treats every kid in the class as if they were a failed abortion, Lloyd was treated the worst of the lot. Knowing what old manly bitches do, she sends him to resource class, which is the equivalent of tutoring or special ed. She claims his grades were terrible. I imagine she was just jealous because he was pulling numbers and getting ass because of the street cred following Little Giants, and asked that his punishment be added to the script. The only decent teacher in his film is Mr. Weed, played by the late great Taylor Negron. This guy looks like he's so shot up on antidepressants that he pisses out candy hearts and shits out sunshine. I imagine to get in character for this role that Negron had to smoke a lot of weed, hence the name. Anyhow, the small group of students were forced to introduce themselves. Storm's up first, and what does he say? I'm cute, and girls like me. Spoken like a true self-absorbed fuckface who fails to realize he'll eventually become a piece-of-face masturbation king come high school. The girl, Carla, played by Chloe Peterson, secretly adores Lloyd, but man does this girl have issues. I love ketchup, is all she states in her introduction. If I were Lloyd, I'd run like hell. A girl this disturbed at this age might be a decent one-night stand somewhere after high school, but she's not relationship material. Liking ketchup alone should be a red flag, as ketchup is one of my mortal fears. You know, being a master of the Kama Sutra and lovemaking in general, I'm even positive that Todd Bosley himself would not share a fetish for ketchup. You might as well just dab fresh period blood on yourself if you're going to lace yourself with ketchup. The final kid that introduces them is Troy, played by Brendan Ryan Barrett, who ends up being Lloyd's ally against Storm, the future pizza-faced gas station attendant. Well, Lloyd tells the class that he can do magic tricks. Seeing as this was PG, several scenes had to be deleted to maintain the rating. The magic trick shown in the scene is making a coin disappear. The original scene was Lloyd snapping his fingers and making Storm's pants drop so everyone could get a good laugh at his cock. It would then follow with Storm quitting school, slowly developing an addiction to crack, and making money for his addiction by letting truck drivers take sloppy shits on his chest. However, it was PG and the actor was a minor at the time, but if they remade it today, same actors, it would be legal, acceptable, and right in the eyes of the public. The final teacher presented to us is simply named Coach, played by the late great character actor Tony Longo, who passed away this week, June 21st, 2015, at the age of 53. Rest in peace. He's a husky, gruff dickhead type who has a penchant for wearing black tank tops. His great idea to improve the physical education program is to have a fundraiser where parents have to eat school spaghetti and watch their kids humiliate themselves by square dancing on a stage dressed like Village People rejects. You might as well cosplay as Barney the dinosaur and serve ramen noodles. It's just as demeaning and stupid. The only bright spot in the movie besides Lloyd's cougar of a mom and the eccentric Mr. Weed is Lloyd's mentor, Tom Zebo, played by Tom Arnold, who's a broke-as-fuck magician who runs a poorly performing magic shop where Lloyd is probably the only customer. Tom's claim is that no one cares about magic anymore. It's his way of saying that wearing a top hat and saying abracadabra while watching a woman undress from a closet will not only not get you laid, but land you with a restraining order. Don't do it. Especially when it's his ex, Roseanne Barr. Don't do it. Ever. Lloyd's life starts looking up when he mows a lawn and can buy a pair of sunglasses that he thinks look badass. He's bobbing his head, blowing kisses to women, and dances his way to his desk in Krupp's class, much to her jealousy once again. Her eyes were fueled with anger like a Brazilian woman who did not reach orgasm before her lover. I highly doubt in real life that a person with anger issues such as Krupp would be allowed in a classroom. The fact that she shouts and yells at the top of her lungs for him to take his sunglasses off and then smashing them with a giant textbook as punishment. I mean, come on now, Lloyd takes it like a boss, but if there was an alternate take, it would involve Lloyd with a camcorder busting into the teacher's lounge and watching his two chubby teachers, Krupp and Coach, having sex. It'd be like two rhinos wrestling on top of an Escalade performing excessive grunts and whimpers to a ginger's amusement. His life is like a roller coaster ride. It starts to be on the upswing the same day. Lloyd's still butthurt about Krupp shattering his fuck shades, but in Weed's class, a new student and fellow ginger named Tracy, played by Kristen Parker, joins them. Lloyd has his eyes set on her. He wants to eat her alive like an obese Hannibal Lecter scarfing down slightly chilled Reese cups, but plays it cool. Lloyd's confidence takes a temporary boost when she admits that she can't spell and wants to become a model, so he figures, this is an easy piece of ass. Not even 30 seconds of being in the classroom, and Storm cock blocks Lloyd with some smooth talk and gaining the attention of his ginger dream girl. Lloyd realizes that he has no friends and that he cannot kick Storm's ass by himself, so he befriends Troy, the other guy in his resources class. They hang out one night. The way the film was shot, it involved playing PlayStation, watching Alien, answering the door for the pizza guy in bras, and playing hockey. Because what really happened, drinking 2 six-packs of beer, attempting to watch Lloyd's mother take a shower, and pushing Lloyd's smart-ass younger brother Nate downstairs in his underwear would be deemed too risque. I mean, it's perfectly logical. If you watch the movie, his brother's about 8 years old and has at least 10 girlfriends at his very young age, while Lloyd's a lonely ginger who is the type that would stare at you from a corner of the cafeteria, slowly sucking the yogurt off his plastic spoon as his tears saturate his table. However, despite the script making him a forever alone type, Lloyd has this laughably bad dream sequence where he visualizes Tracy, his gingery dream girl, running and playing with him on a beach, and then, I shit you not, having a candlelit dinner of Lucky Charms. When we're kids, we all have fantasies of the person we're crushing on, and sometimes they can be a little fucked up, but Lucky Charms? Anyhow, moving along, Troy and Lloyd are playing soccer on the street, and Lloyd's wearing this stupid fucking blue baseball cap that serves no purpose. In fact, Troy and even Nate wear a hat in future scenes in this movie, and it bothers the fuck out of me. Why do they have to wear a fucking hat? Mindfuck, I tell you. Aside from the stupid forced-fucked hat wearing, Lloyd realized it's time to take action and let this Tracy girl know that he likes her. Now, if this were Todd Bosley himself, all he'd have to do is spout off a line from Little Giants or do the song from Jack with Robin Williams, and he'd be eating that bowl of Lucky Charms already. So, he spends hours upon hours in his room, a delicate craftsman of words. He walks up to her and her stuck-up friends at lunch, hands her the note, and walks away feeling big, not realizing this girl's a snob. She recites the note to her friends, they all laugh and insult him behind his back, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why most guys watch a lot of porn and jack off, because they can't stand bitches like them. Despite being snubbed by Tracy, Lloyd and Troy decide to go to her house after Troy informs him that he lives a few doors down from her. The way to win her over? Grab a boombox and blast Latin love songs from her front yard at 9 p.m. while he dances like he has a dildo jammed up his ass and swinging his fists together like he's smacking a chick's ass with a fucking meat mallet. However, it doesn't go as intended. Troy fucked with him, as it was Carla, the cute little doe-eyed girl that had hots for Lloyd, but had a disgusting fetish for ketchup. The next day was obviously hell. The girl of your dreams does not only snub you, but she makes it public that she doesn't want you by kissing the dickhead that bullies you. It just goes to show that you can look like a hybrid between a shark and Sloth from the Goonies and get any girl you want if you're confident. Lloyd has a meltdown to the extreme. He screams so loud that it obviously masks the sound of him shitting his pants as well as the sound of his heart breaking. Storm had won. His baloney and ass-flavored lips touched his dream girl's lips. I'd tell her to go fuck off. Hell, she'd probably end up having Storm's kid that comes out of the womb with braces and a bad attitude. Fuckhead. Well, such a great fight montage comes up between Troy and Storm. The fight being sparked because Storm's an insecure baby dick dope because Troy was talking to Lloyd's dream ginger. You know, a fight breaks out and a crowd of kids are cheering on the fight, cheering on Storm to kick his ass! Kill him! Mainly his bowl haircut sporting flunkies who look like third-rate Peter Tork impersonators or some codename Kids Next Door clones. I mean, Troy obviously loses the fight because not only is Storm a general run-of-the-mill dickhead, he's also some rare species of steroid-pumping sixth graders who could probably kick a grown man's ass because he's a dipshit hairdo and dipshit clothing. Well, before you know it, it's time for the stupid fucking spaghetti dinner and square dancing horse shit. What can I say? Lloyd was dressed as a cactus, does magic, and is in a disco suit similar to John Travolta's in Saturday Night Fever, and a food fight ensues, much to the amusement of Mr. Weed, who's probably all doped up on crack. Troy, Carla, and Lloyd get into it with Storm. Carla confesses her love to Lloyd, and everyone lives happily ever after. At the end of the day, Lloyd's better half was age-appropriate ass that had a gross fetish for ketchup but was good to him. Troy got to dress up like Andrew Ridgeley from Wham!, and Storm learned that being a big dickhead does not give you a big dickhead. I'm sure he'll find that out when he's in college. Final thoughts, 3 out of 4 stars. Its cult following still steadily grows as the movie's available on VHS and DVD on Amazon. There's been a rumor floating on the internet that there was to be a sequel called Lloyd 2, Growing Up, that was produced in 2003, but I believe it's a bullshit hoax, as one of the few sources is Wikipedia. Enough said. Well, this was Brendan Ryan Barrett's final film to date. Let's see. Todd Bosley is still steadily working on TV and is currently doing stand-up over in Los Angeles. Most of the other actors stopped acting after this movie, including the unknowns such as Chloe Peterson, which played Carla, the ketchup chick. I mean, even if this movie is a little-known cult film that shows up on Flicks at 3 a.m. once a year, it is a hidden gem for people who are kids at heart or just grew up loving Todd Bosley. You know what? That's my review. That's my insight. Peace out, fuckers.